Hey guys, how's it going? It is Kire here. It's been a minute since I've done a video on this game, but I wanted to break down the new event for Easter, my thoughts on it, and pretty much everything that's been going on here currently in the game. We got a big event going on, so what better time to come back and discuss Infinite Magicraid. So before we get into this video, I do want to shout out today's sponsor, which is Aptoide. Okay, so the reason why I partnered with Aptoide as a sponsor on this channel is because if you're going to spend money on these games, why not save money? So there's a couple of hoops you got to jump through before you can get it, but it just gets you a percentage off if you're willing to spend money on these games. So how you do it, link will be down in the description down below, down there, and you need to download the AppCoins wallet. This is something that can only be done on either an Android device or an Android emulator. And once you download it, be sure to go to the app, hit the cogwheel and hit promo code. Then put Kire Mobile 5, one word, all capitals, to save an additional 5% off. Then it's as simple as just going to the game. If you want to buy something, you will see the discount. So thank you, Aptoide, for sponsoring this video. And now let's get back to the content. Okay, so now that we're back, let's talk about the event. So the first thing is going to be already upset when it comes to this event because how they're doing this is pretty typical nowadays when they come to the seasonal events that they have going on. For example, they'll always have something like this. When it comes to it, they'll have this, they have this holiday challenge. This is all pretty standard with a specific dungeon effect. They'll have something they sell you here when it comes to the value packs. They also have this adventure here, but the big thing is in a couple of them, they've actually given out the hero. In this one, they're giving out a Legend Phantom Dragonite, which I think is good. That's the only, I think, suitable replacement to actually getting the hero, in my opinion, that would be valid. But it's very hard to celebrate the event when it comes to a character if you know that the character's not going to be coming back for quite a while, because initially they were supposed to never come back. But they've already shown that Pauline and Nicholas have come back at sporadic times, which is a different, separate issue as well. So based on how they would normally go about these characters don't come back, and then you have it in a 10x rate, which, as I think we've all seen, based on the Nicholas one, where you would have it as a miracle wish, and then people said that was a whale hungry event, which is totally true, but at least you can kind of pinpoint it. Like if you're gonna whale for a character, I would 100% choose to whale for a miracle wish versus an excellent wish. So this is the worst case scenario in my opinion, the 10x, because you don't even know if you're going to get the hero, let alone one of these 10x. Then you have to worry about, do you even like the 10x? So like whenever I see a 10x, I don't even assume I'm going to get the character out of the 10x. And if I did get one of the 5 characters that is 10x, am I going to be disappointed by that? And I would say I'm disappointed by at least 2 of these in Nacille and Elsa here. So you have that going against it. Then you have the character that, so even if you get super lucky and if you pulled the character, you're not guaranteed this character. Then do you even like the character at exclusive 0? So you might, if you're going to be whaling, do you whale out for just the exclusive 0, or do you want to get more exclusives for it? So there's so many issues when it comes to this release structure already. I'm upset by it. Then, as you can see here, when it comes to this event, there has been issues in the past on the difficulty of the wonderful adventure thing, whatever the equivalent of this. So I don't know if this is actually too hard compared to like what an average player would expect for something like this. And then I also haven't been looking to see if how they've been advertising, because usually they advertise these as like free legendary Phantom Dragonite or free a guaranteed legendary hero, when in reality it's going to be either something that's very difficult or something that only a very small percentage of people are going to be getting anyway. So it's not really free, you know. So it depends on how they're marketing it this time, but hopefully they've at least fixed this. I'm just seeing all the same patterns that they've done in the former controversial events. You know, nothing's really changing here in my opinion. I think maybe this time the only difference really is the 10x versus the miracle. But if I had my choice, if you're going to give me 2 terrible events, I'm choosing the miracle every single time, in my opinion. And then lastly, the thing that I really don't like, and the thing that is making me want to make this, is when we go to the character, very similar to Nicholas. So at least this time, it's an effect that you get at exclusive 0, but it's very similar to the controversial part of Nicholas. So if we go here, just to kind of fill you guys in, if you guys are not familiar, it's his exclusive 3 is Nicholas additionally gifts all allies one Christmas apple when granting Christmas surprise. Allies with Christmas apple have a 30% boost to all effects granted by the Christmas surprise, which in of itself is already very good. And then 30% boost to that is crazy at exclusive 3. And then besides, allies with Christmas apple will consume Christmas apple, gain immunity to this death, and restore 30% HP of their own max HP. So you got to kill them twice. So in PvP, that's really frustrating. I don't really care about that too much, even though like against it would be very frustrating to play against. Like when you wail out in arena, he's going to be a major issue. But then the big thing was Elemental City. They tuned this to where basically you need to have exclusive 3, or you need a friend with exclusive 3 Nicholas to be able to do this content. So that is something that is frustrating as well. So then what they ended up doing here is another seasonal character. They have an effect very similar to that in her ultimate. So let me go to the new character, and I'm seeing just basically you take a controversial event. They took the feedback from that and then just hit Control C, Control V, and did the exact same thing here. If not, maybe a little worse. But maybe I'm missing something. So if we look at this effect, so this is already a massive paragraph, so bear with me here, but let me explain this. And it's very similar to Nicholas. At least in this case scenario, if there's any, silver lining, is that it's very similar to, or it's at least the exclusive 0 version. So grants 1 layer of Easter egg colorful to all allies for 3 turns. Up to 1 layer. Cannot have other Easter egg effects when the Easter egg colorful is owned. Removes Easter egg colorful when any of the following effects is triggered. So Easter egg red triggered when an ally with Easter egg kills an enemy, acts an additional turn. So I think that's a good effect. That makes sense for something like this. But here's yellow. So triggered when the ally with Easter egg colorful dies, revives with 30% max HP, and this effect cannot be triggered by the ally again for the next 3 turns. So that's basically the exact same passive. You die, you have to do it again. At least in this case scenario, the only like the Nicholas one is better because it's a passive that they're just always guaranteed to have. Whereas with this character, you would have to, look, this is also a passive. It's just an ultimate. And also, like, look at the bug here. It's almost like they can't code ultimates. So either this is just a visual bug and then there actually is an effect for leveling this, but it's just confusing because level 2, none. Level 3, none. So does it waste books? Are you sitting here putting books in this character and then just to fill out the the normal amount, you're just going to waste a book there? I hope that's not the case. Wouldn't be surprised if it is, just based on other issues that have happened. So there's that. But both of them are passives. Both of them are very similar when it comes to this. I would say, if I had to guess, I would say Nicholas is still the better character. But these are very similar things. And so what they're doing is just, this is another opportunity to tune the game to that standard. Like, you need a character like this. Like, you're going to want friends to have a character like this to be able to push through very difficult content, because the damage is just tuned incredibly high and it's incredibly difficult to survive. Makes it very difficult to want to attempt content because it's very, the difficulty is like, okay, do I get one shot? Yes or no? And you're always trying to move around and set your teams to not get one shot, but every little thing can one shot you. So having an effect like this is a big deal, but they only tie these effects to these seasonal characters. So that is incredibly frustrating. So already I'm not liking, just like my initial vibe here looking into this event, I already don't like it because we can't get the character guaranteed. At least at exclusive 0, it's a very powerful effect. I think too powerful in my opinion. I don't like that they're doing that. I wish they would just bring the difficulty of the game down a bit versus having these characters like, oh, here's a character you wail out for, and then it makes the content, feasible, in my opinion. And then the rest of it is all very standard. And I do like these events, and I do like that they're giving a quote-unquote guaranteed legendary Dragon Eye, and having these on a pretty, it seems like quarterly, to be able to get these is pretty nice, because then it allows the discussion of heroes to grow a bit, because the characters get really powerful effects when they get more exclusives. And so having a consistent way that we can see, like, okay, you're guaranteed to get this exclusive Dragon Eye, so we can actually discuss which characters to get it on, stuff like that. I like that for the game. And I think that's good that they're doing that. I just think it's unfortunate that they're doing it at this time where I think I think it's better, in my opinion, to have the guaranteed character, because it's really difficult to like, okay, here's a character that unless I pay money for, I'm not going to get, and I think I made my point there. But at least we are getting the legendary Dragoneye. It's just hard to be excited for something when you have like the major detriment at the same time that we're getting it. In my opinion, maybe other people would want the legendary Phantom Dragoneye, depending on the characters you have. Maybe you don't even want to use the new character. Like me personally, I couldn't care less either way. What I care about is that we're missing out on a character, and the character is super good. And they seem to know which characters are going to be really good, and then they always drop them as these event characters versus just making them like a normal character. Is my issue, and it seems intentional, and then it makes it to where, okay, this is supposed to be like a quote unquote celebration, and then it just becomes here. Let's celebrate by paying the company money, and I don't like that, in my opinion. And that's been and it wouldn't be so frustrating if that was like, okay, one-time feedback, okay, they overtuned it, let's dial it back. But they did this for pretty much every event, like, except like the New Year's one, but they've done this for Christmas, and then they did this for Easter now. The New Year's event, I think that one was pretty good, but because they made sure everyone got pollen. So, and it just so happened that Pollen was a really good character. Like, I think it would be a way different story if they took a character like in the October event, which was Little Jack, and they made that character let's make this the guaranteed one for people, and he was terrible. So at least they made a good character that was good at E0, available for everyone, that gets better at exclusive 1 and 2 and stuff. But I think they've proven that they can take feedback and do a better job. But I think this is they took a few steps forward, and then they took a few steps back. So that is my overall thoughts on just the initial hero release. But I want to do another video here in the near future when it comes to talking about the rest of the event, because I don't know if this is too difficult, because they have had in the past where they make something like this incredibly difficult and only a few people can get it. And I hope that's not the case. So I'm just going to end the video here. It's already been about 12 minutes. Just ranting about one portion of this. So I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts. Am I off base on this? Because as you guys can see, I haven't been playing nearly as much as I normally do. It's just been difficult wanting to get back in the game. If there is one thing that is encouraging, just looking at, and it's not even like I'm like mad at the game or I don't want to play the game. It's more of like, there's just other games that are more exciting to play. And they might not necessarily fit on my YouTube channel, so I haven't been active there. But I've been having a lot of fun playing these other games. I've been playing a lot of Marvel Snap. Been getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh! And like Master Duel. It's on phone now, so that's pretty cool. Been playing a ton of Halo with Darth Micro. So I'm excited for the new Star Wars game that's coming out on April 28th. So that's pretty soon, or 27th. But that's really exciting. Me and Darth also just beat, like about a few months ago, we beat Fallen Order in preparation for this. So there's a lot of good games coming out that I've just been having way more fun playing recently than this game. So that's why I haven't been making too many YouTube videos at the moment. But as more things come through, as things get more convenient, I have been seeing quality of life changes that I like. So I might end up playing this game a little bit more. But that's pretty much it for this video here. Curious to hear your thoughts down below. And that, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.